Welcome to Lola's Frugal Life Podcast. If you're on a mission to be more frugal with both your time and money, you're in the right place. In this podcast, we talk about topics that help enhance living a frugal lifestyle. The goal is to save time and money where we can so that we can use the rest on what matters most to us. We talk a lot about both time and money management so that we can waste as little as possible on both. We do this while also embracing a progress over perfection mindset. If that sounds good to you, then please stick around for the latest episode right after a few quick words from our sponsor. Hi everyone, welcome back to Lola's Frugal Life Podcast. This is my weekly meal plan episode. This is just a really quick episode where I share with you what's on my family's meal plan for the upcoming week. There's a blog post on my website at lolasfrugallife.com where you can find the full meal plan along with links to any of the recipes. I also post a link to the blog post on my Lola's Frugal Life Facebook page. You can follow that page there if you want to see get the link to the meal plan each week when I share it. And anyway, that I think I just said, I always forget what I already just said. I think I just said that the meal plan, the blog post, does have links to any of the recipes that I mentioned in today's episode. So if there's anything you hear and you want the exact recipe, you can go link it there for things that I got from other recipe sites. So this week's meal plan starts on Saturday, September 28th. We are doing skillet, lemony chicken, and artichokes. This is from goodhousekeeping.com. This is a one skillet meal where you basically cook up some bone-in chicken thighs with artichokes and lemon. It comes out really good. It's kind of like one of those like little bit fancier type meals, I feel like. It kind of feels like something you would get like in a restaurant. And then as a side dish, we're going to be doing Sarah's rice pilaf, which is from allrecipes.com. This comes out really good. This is the only rice pilaf I've ever made, but it seems like it's a really good recipe because it's pretty easy to make and it comes out really good. So that is for Saturday. For Sunday, we're going to be doing pumpkin chili, which is from allrecipes.com. And if you guys who have listened for a while know that this is like a seasonal thing, we always make. My one daughter asks for it as soon as the fall starts. She actually asked me the other day, when are we having pumpkin chili? So it's a regular ground beef chili, but it has pumpkin in it and it has pumpkin pie spice seasoning in it. And then as a side, we're going to do golden sweet cornbread, which is from allrecipes.com. I don't know if I've actually made this recipe before, but it's basically just like a homemade cornbread, and I'm going to make that to go on the side with the pumpkin chili. For Monday, we're going to be doing Chef John's Italian meatballs, which is from allrecipes.com. This is just a really simple meatball recipe that you make the meatballs and bake them in the oven. And then I'm just going to do some spaghetti on the side, just like boil up some spaghetti, put some sauce on it. Tuesday, we usually do a Mexican theme meal. This week, we are doing sheet pan chicken fajitas. This is from foodnetwork.com. This is just your typical sheet pan fajita recipe where you put chicken and peppers and onions and some olive oil and seasoning and cook that in the oven. And then I'll put out, like some flour tortillas, some salsa, some sour cream, avocado, all that type of stuff. And then I usually make some rice to go with it too, in case anyone wants to make a bowl instead of putting it on the fajita thing, whatever you call it, the flour tortilla or whatever that I put out with it. Then on Wednesday, we're going to be doing baked salmon and egg noodles and frozen vegetables. For the baked salmon, I just buy the frozen salmon fillets and I brush it with olive oil, season it with McCormick Smokehouse Maple, and I bake it in the oven at 450 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. And that's a super easy meal. I make the egg noodles while the salmon's baking, and I'll just cook some frozen vegetables in the microwave, whatever we happen to have on hand. For Thursday, we're doing breakfast for dinner. For this one, we're doing turkey bacon in the oven. I'm doing scrambled eggs and some hash brown, or not hash browns, but like home fries, I guess they're more like. I chop up potatoes, peppers, and onions and drizzle them with olive oil, salt, pepper, throw them in the air fryer till they're done. And then I'm going to also put out some flour tortillas in case anyone wants to make like a breakfast burrito. The turkey bacon in the oven is from brended.com. It just tells you how to make bacon in the oven. It's basically just putting it on a sheet and baking it, but it has the temperature, the time, whatever. That's the easiest way to make bacon. I love doing it that way. You can do it with regular bacon, turkey bacon, whatever. Um, and that's for Thursday. For Friday, we're doing our hamburger night. We do this every other Friday. So just some hamburgers. I just make them with chopped meat. I was using the frozen Costco patties during the summer, but now that we're back and just throwing them on the grill for like a really quick time saver during the summer. But now that we're back to fall, I'm just making regular hamburgers again with the ground beef. And then I am making oven fresh seasoned potato wedges from allrecipes.com. Those are where you just cut up the potatoes into wedges, toss them into a Ziploc bag with some olive oil, salt and pepper, Parmesan cheese, and I think some other seasonings, and you bake them in the oven. And then a can of pork and beans with that. And that is it. Oh, I want to mention with the potato wedges, I think, does it tell you to put them on foil? I forget. It might say to put them on a foil lined pan. Actually, it doesn't. But I used to always like line my pans with foil. And if you do that and you find that the potatoes stick, if you use parchment paper instead, it's a million times better. They don't stick and they still brown, they come out nice. I know parchment paper's been around forever, but I only discovered it like maybe 2 years ago, a year or two ago. And it was such a life changer because I would always like line things with aluminum foil and certain things would stick really bad. Nothing really seems to stick to the parchment paper. So just that tip if you are not familiar or you haven't used it before. So that's it for this week's meal plan. Like I said, you can find this on my website also at lolasfrugallife.com. And I thank you so much for listening, and I will see you back here next week.
So thank you for checking in for this podcast episode. And don't forget, you can always email me with any questions or suggestions at lolasfrugallife@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at lolasfrugallife. And you can find a blog post for most of my episodes and definitely all of my meal plan episodes at lolasfrugallife.com. You can also join our private listeners group at facebook.com/groups/lolasfrugallife. And if you enjoy the show, please make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen from. And I would love it if you would screenshot the show and tag me on Instagram so I could see you're listening. Also, if you can please take a couple of seconds to rate and review the podcast, those ratings and reviews are what help the show come up better in search results so that other people can find this podcast. So that will really help me in growing my audience. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have an awesome day.